Hey everybody, Angelica here and welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to do a video about the show The Vampire Diaries because I literally just finished season 8 a few days ago, so I wanted to get on here and talk about everything while it was all fresh in my mind. We're going to be talking about like favorite characters, best villains, and just sad deaths. Definitely gotta talk about the seasons because let's be honest, after season 6 the show kinda, took a turn for the worse. Top 5 favorite characters that I had throughout the show while I was watching it. It was very difficult because I just loved the whole cast for the most part. There wasn't any characters that I disliked.
I did not
I think even
like
the villains,
Matt Donovan.
the bad guys in the show, I feel like they were even like, oh my god, they're a really good villain, or oh, they did so good on that. So, so we're gonna do top 5 favorite characters throughout the show that I just loved throughout the whole thing. And number 5 is Elena, which Elena was literally the main character I feel throughout at least the first 6 seasons. Elena was definitely the main character, and you can have your thoughts about her all you want, but I do honestly wholeheartedly believe this. She made the show what it is. I feel like, because we'll get into this later in the video, but like I feel like after season 7, the show kind of went downhill because she wasn't in it. I feel like she really made the show. There was scenes in season 7 where I was like, oh, I wonder what it'd be like. How would these scenes go if Elena was there? Or how would this go if Elena was there? I kept thinking that throughout season 8 and 7. Kept thinking that. So she definitely is in the top 5 because she definitely makes the show what it is. Number 4, that would be Stefan Salvador. Honestly, people are probably going to be surprised. Like, I'm guessing he's probably a lot of people's favorite characters. Stefan was my favorite. I had such mixed feelings about that boy. So, when the show first started, season 1, season 2, whatever, I, like, totally shipped him and Elena. I was like, oh my god, he's the good brother, he's a good guy. And then Damon was just such an asshole, like, the first 2-3 seasons. I just felt like he obviously had so much redemption and so much quality, obviously, later in the show, but like for sure the first season he was just complete dick. Couldn't stand him, so like it just made Stefan look so much better. But throughout, as the show went on, like the Ripper part of Stefan, the no humanity part of Stefan, like even when Stefan was trying to be, it's just so many parts where like he definitely wasn't my top favorite person. Like he definitely was number 4, but like he obviously made the show what it is as well. Like, the show wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for him. I love him because how much he loves Damon. I love him because he does sacrifice a lot for his friends, for people he loves. And I just felt like when the whole Damon and Elena thing happened, like, he just took it so to heart. And I get it because was his girlfriend and that's his brother. But, like, ever since that, I just felt like he kind of went downhill. Ever since him and Elena kind of broke up, he just wasn't the same in my mindset, and there was so much shit that he did where I was getting so angry. I was like, why are you acting like that? Why did you do that? And now to my 3rd favorite character on the show. It has to go to Bonnie. There was a few scenes like in the beginning of the show where I was like, Bonnie, what are you doing? You're kind of making me mad. But like I completely understood where she was coming from when like she hated Stefan, she hated Damon because of her grandma dying, and I was like, I completely get it. I completely get where she was coming from. But, like, she definitely redeemed herself in the whole show. She was the most badass character, honestly. She was just, like, so loyal. She sacrificed herself. Like, how many times did this girl die for the fucking rest of all of these ungrateful-ass people? She died, like, what? She died at least twice, I feel, for Jeremy. She died at least twice for him. And then she died for, like, everybody else. And her and Damon died. And that was just, like, Bonnie, oh, her and Enzo, I just love Bonnie. She was just like that character that without it, like, the show would literally be empty. Like, she literally did the most. Anytime something bad was happening, she'd come in like a badass and just like fuck it all up. Like, that simple. And then this is probably gonna come as a shock, but my 2nd all-time favorite character of the show is Caroline Forbes. Caroline. So, first season, obviously, total fucking bitch. She was so selfish, so rude, so full of herself. She was so rude to her friends, especially Elena. Like, what was up with that in the first season? Like, she's Elena's best friend in the first season, but then she, like, said a bunch of snotty remarks and rude comebacks and very nice non-best friend things. So I was like, the first season, I was like, who does this bitch think she is? And at first, I thought she was just gonna be like Damon's like piece of ass that he was just gonna be with, because I was totally fucked up what he did to her in the beginning. I thought that she was just gonna be like a side character, but then she ended up literally, I don't care what anybody says ever, anybody, she had the best character development in the show, even compared to Damon, because Damon had really good character development and character growth and like redemption and like a whole different persona through the end of the show. Her and Damon, obviously, I think had the best redemptions and best like quality changes and best like just all overall like makeovers throughout the whole series. Her and Damon had the best, but Caroline's whole personality, like she was still like kind of controlling and kind of like bossy, and she still had her Caroline energy about her and personality, but I feel like she like by the time like season 5 with her and the whole Klaus thing, by that time she was literally my favorite character. Like she was like, oh my god, I love her. Like the whole her Klaus thing, shipped it from the beginning, shipped it from the moment he laid eyes on her. I shipped it. Like Caroline, she became like a badass. She loved being a vampire. She wasn't ashamed of like saying that she loved being a vampire. She didn't want to take the cure when they offered it. Like she was just like so content. Like her becoming a vampire literally changed who she was as a person, and I just loved it from that moment on. I loved her as a vampire. I loved her as a mom. I loved her as a girlfriend. I loved her as a wife. I loved her. She was literally one of my favorite characters. Like I loved every scene that she was in. It was great. I just loved her so much. But her, like, obviously my main favorite character of this whole freaking show, obviously Damon. Damon was the kind of character that just kept me on my toes. Like I never knew, oh, is this the episode where he's gonna turn bad again? Is this the episode where he's gonna do something super fucked up and it's gonna make me hate him? Like he would make me hate him, and then he would do something where like I completely understood why he did it. Like he was the kind of person that like he did super messed up bad things, like killing Vicky for fun, like turning Caroline into like his personal slave, like all the stuff he did was like super effed up. And then there was like scenes where like he sacrificed himself for his friends, he sacrificed himself for his brother, he sacrificed himself for Elena time and time again, and he did a lot of redemption. He did like literally the whole last season when like him and Stefan like were like knew they were going to be sent to hell and like all the bad things they did. Like, he really believed, like, there was redemption. He believed, like, they were capable of redeeming themselves and doing good to make up for all the bad. And they've done a lot of bad stuff, but he, at the end of the day, he was a good dude that just turned bad because his brother turned him into a vampire and made him have these bad qualities. And he, like, I feel like he acted out as, obviously, as revenge to, like, his brother, to, like, show his brother, like, this is what you made me. You did this. You made me do this. And then by the end of the show, he literally, like, was literally about to kill himself, sacrifice his life to save frickin' Stefan. And Stefan just came in at the end. It's like, no, brother, you gotta live your life with Elena. I was like, stop! The tears. Speaking of the tears, the next portion of this frickin' video here, we're gonna be talking about the top five saddest deaths. And I say this because these are the every one that I say, as this is a death that I literally bawled my eyes out. So we'll talk about the top 5, I shouldn't say top 5, top 5 saddest deaths that I personally thought. Number 5 was like this is what I knew this show was gonna fuck me up in the fucking head and the heart and the soul. Like number 5, when Bonnie's grandma died after they did the spell to get Catherine out of the tombs. When she died, like I literally started bawling my eyes out. And it was only season 1, and I just met the lady, and I just met Bonnie, and just met the cast. Like I had no emotional attachments to any of these characters at this time, but like the way she died was just so fucking sad. Like she took all her energy to help these vampires because she loved her granddaughter. Her granddaughter loved Elena, and Elena loved Stefan and cared about Stefan, and Stefan cares about Damon. It was like a fucking cycle of like what Bonnie has sacrifices for the Salvador brothers every time and time again, and then the fact that she sacrificed literally her grandma's life to help fucking Damon and Stefan, and Catherine wasn't even in the tombs. Ooh, I was angry. But that, I literally was crying actually really hard when her grandma died. Like, I thought it was super sad. What got me, it wasn't her grandma dying got me sad, but it was like when Bonnie walked in and seen her grandma died. I was like, oh, no, stop. Like, it was flood of tears. Like, I was sad as fuck. Okay, so the fourth death on here, oh, this one got me really bad too, because it was like later in the show, and it was like all the characters were attached to this person, which is the Queen Bee Sheriff Forbes, Liz, the best sheriff all around. When she literally, the reason she died, and it was the most like common way to die. She had like a stage 4 cancer, and it was just super, oh, it was so sad. Like, it was sad her days leading up to her death. And then when she when she died, and then the fact that Caroline wasn't there when she died, like, oh, it got me. I was like, oh, my heart hurt so bad for Caroline. My heart hurt bad for the mom, for Damon. Like, they all cared about her deeply. And then the fact that that she died, she deserved to ride out the whole show. Cause I was like, they can't kill off her. She's like the best side character. I just loved every scene with her. Even in the beginning, she was kind of like, vampire died. And she almost like even wanted to kill her own daughter at one point because she hated vampires so much. And then she learned to like, that it's still her daughter. Everything's still the same, except she's a little different because she loves blood and all her stuff is heightened and stuff. But when she died, that was pretty sad. The third death that really hit me in the fucking gut, excuse me, was when Aunt Jenna died. I was like, they are not gonna do this. They are not. I'm like, Klaus, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I cannot believe. Klaus is his own video all by itself. Oh, it was super messed up what he did, though. I can't believe he did that. Like, it was so sad because she was like, when she started, like, knew she was gonna die, she's like, I wasn't ready to take care of you guys, but you guys, like, are my whole life. Like, it was just so sad when she died, because I was like, no, she didn't deserve to go out like that. It was so sad, because Elena started crying, and then Klaus didn't even give a frick, and then, like, it was sad. The second death of the show that got me was when Enzo died. That's number 2, the saddest death. At first, like, if he would have died when he first came on the show, it would have been whatever. Even the second time, like, because he was on the show for a while after, like, season 5, it was at least season 5. He was in it for a while because he was with Damon and Stefan's mom and stuff like that. Like, he was just whatever character, like, a side dude. Like, I didn't really have any emotional attachment, but the moment they, like, invested us in his and Bonnie's relationship and their growth and how he truly loved her like nobody's ever loved her. I mean, Jeremy did love her, but I feel like they try to play off their relationship just so they could focus on Enzo and Bonnie's relationship, which is completely okay because I really ship Bonnie and Enzo more than Jeremy and Bonnie. So, like, it was all good with me, but, like, when Stefan killed him, oh, I was so angry. I was so mad. I knew it wasn't Stefan's fault, but it still was, and I was so angry that he did that. I was so mad that he did that. And when Monty started crying, and I was like, oh, her cry just got me. I was crying so hard when Enzo died. And then the number 1 saddest death of this whole freaking show was when Stefan died. So Stefan died in the most heroic way, I think, out of everybody else. They all died pretty heroic, like, but, like, Stefan, like, literally, Stefan was on his way of being free and, like, not having to worry about anything. He was going to live the rest of his human life like he always wanted. No. He took the cure out of him, gave it to his brother, and fucking held Catherine's bitch ass up, and they both died. I was literally, when Stefan died, like, I had gotten spoiled previously before it even happened, but I didn't know the situation, how it was going to happen, or the scenario, or how I was going to feel when it happened. But the moment it was happening, like, I was flooded with, I was crying Like, it was the kind of crying, like, where I felt like I got to know these characters throughout the 8 seasons because I watched it in, like, under 3 weeks. I watched it every single day, and I felt like I was so developed in these characters' lives. Like, I literally felt like I knew them. So when he died, like, it literally hit me in my heart. I was, like, I understood why he sacrificed himself because he did the most damage out of everybody in the show when he was the Ripper and when his humanity was off and all the effed up things that he did. Like, I get why he did it. But I was still very sad, and it was super an emotional ending, and I was like, frick you for doing that. I was so angry. But now let's get off of the sad stuff and talk about the top 5. They're not my favorite characters. They're not like people that I liked or anything. This is literally based off what I thought of the top best 5 villains of the show. Because there was several people that played off as a bad guy or the bad character or that was fighting against the group. And there was several people to choose from, and I just wanted to do top 5 people that I thought did the show justice of their evilness and the most effed up things that they did to the cast and stuff. So my top 5, or number 5 of the person I thought did a lot of damage was obviously the devil / Arcadius. Like, it was kind of thrown at the end, and, like, it was, like, a big deal because they didn't want to get sent to hell or anything, but I feel like when he finally came up, like, he was doing with the sirens and all that stuff, like, he was causing so much drama and problems, and people were trying to figure out how the hell they're going to get out of not dying and stuff. But I really felt like he did a good justice for the end of the show because when he died, it was like, oh, yes, he died. Then they killed Catherine, and everything was wrapped up. There was no hell. Like, people weren't gonna have to worry about that. People were gonna find peace. So I feel like he did the justice of the show at the end to figure out how to wrap it up. I think they did that good. Number 4 was Klaus. Even though he was in the show for a short period of time, he did a huge impact in the short period of time that he was there. He killed so many people. He literally started a whole ship with freaking Caroline. He killed Tyler's mom. It was just like he did the most, but I still couldn't help falling in love with him because I think he's genuinely just a troubled guy, and he just hasn't experienced any love in his life because his family, like, resented him. His mom hated him since the day, or his dad hated him since the day he was born. Like, he felt like his mom hated him his whole life too, and, like, it was just like, I just felt bad for him, I think. And then, like, when the whole him and Caroline thing, like, happened, I was like, oh, I ship it. I wanted him to be a decent guy. I wanted him to stay in the show and redeem himself like Damon and stuff did. Like, but no. They ended up kind of casting him off the show to start off the spinoff, the originals. But, I love how the creator of the show, like, he wasn't in there for, like, at least half a season. And then just for one random scene in one episode, they just brought him back just so him and Caroline could have sex in the woods. I literally was, like, screaming. I was like, thank you for doing that, the creators of the Vampire Diaries, because everybody who shipped them, we all appreciate it. It needed to happen. Even if you did ship them, there was so much sexual tension between the two of them, it just had to happen. Like, there was no getting out of it. It had to happen. I think the third best villain of the show was the famous doppelganger, Silas. I felt like he did the show really good. I loved that Stefan was a doppelganger. Like, what was up with that? And I loved how everybody tried to make it seem like Stefan and Elena were destined to be together. But no, she loves Damon, and I shipped Damon and Elena so much. Just saying. But, yeah, Silas did a lot for the show. When, he was fighting just to get peace so he can be with this one true love, and then Tessa, the witch, she was, like, trying to stop him from finding true love and happiness, which, by the way, she could definitely hold a grudge for a very long time, because what happened was super effed up. Like, he left her at the wedding, he pretended to love her so he could get immortality, and his girlfriend could get immortality, and he used her to do that. But I think it was a little bit of a grudge. She was a little bit overdramatic with how she acted, just a little bit. But I think it was really interesting to see to see Stefan played as Silas, and, like, to see, like, Silas just fucking threw him in the river, and, like, he was in there for 3 months and nobody looked for him. I completely get why he was upset, why he's like, I expected you and Elena to look for me. You're the two people that I expected to find me, and they didn't even look for him. They were too busy having hot, heavy sex all summer. They said, Stefan who? Stefan who, bitch? I don't know what the fuck that is, but, oh, I just loved him. Okay, number 2 is Kai. Kai was a fucking very conflicting character for me because there was, like, he was obviously super effed up in the head, super psychotic, there was no return for that boy. But he was disowned by his whole family, so there was scenes where, like, his scenes where he was, like, drawn towards Bonnie and how his comedic scenes and his scenes where he was drawn towards Bonnie were the scenes where I was like, okay, maybe there's room for redemption for him. Maybe he can come out and be like, okay, guys, I'm done being a fucking psycho, stabbing my sister in the stomach, killing my whole family, going after Lark's twins. Like, I'm done with that. Maybe let me try to be a decent guy so, like, Bonnie will date me. I don't know, but no. He was still a psycho. I thought it was super hilarious when, like, he was, like, tweeting and stuff, and, like, Lark's like, why is, was it Cobra Kai 77 something? He's like, why is he tweeting for the first time in 4 years? And then David's like, well, first of all, why are you still following him? I just think that was just so hilarious. I thought it was just, like, so funny. But the main number 1 spot goes to this bitch right here, Catherine Pierce. Catherine. So I have so many conflicted feelings about this character and about. First of all, bravo to Nina, the actress that plays Catherine and Elena and the other doppelganger chick. She did a fucking excellent job. You could literally tell the difference between Elena and Catherine. Like, when she was playing those characters, you could literally tell the difference. Even when they're in the same room, I was like, oh, that's Catherine. They were literally completely different people. And I loved how the actor was able to portray 2 different fucking characters, even though it was the same person playing both roles. I was like, holy shit. But Catherine did the most damage, I feel, out of anybody in the whole show. She fucked up Damon and Stefan. She made them vampires. She made Caroline a vampire. She literally... She like, made a lot of people vampires. And she killed a lot of people. And she did a lot of selfish shit in her days. And okay, I was angry because she did a lot of fucked up shit. And then the scene where she, like, when she died... And honestly, it got to me, and I honestly felt super sad for her. And the reason I felt sad was because she was an effed up person, but she had, like, was running for 500 years from Klaus, and she felt like she had to do everything for survival. What got me to feel bad for her was Stefan. The fact that Stefan was able to look over all the bad that she's done and all the horrible things she's did to him, even him personally, and the fact that he was like in that dream with her, or in that vision, and he was making all the bad stuff, like, not bad, and he was, like, giving her peace. He's like, you're dying. You deserve peace no matter what you've done in your past. At this moment, I got it. She was dying. Like, she was dying, and, like, they were doing shots for her death, and they were, like, everybody was, like, celebrating. Nobody fucking cared except for Stefan. Like, Stefan, honestly, that's what shows Stefan is honestly a good dude, because he was able to do that. And the fact that he was able to forgive her, I was like, fuck, now I feel like I have to forgive her for all the bad things she's done. Like, I literally, when her daughter came in and, like, was talking to her, and she, like, had all those super bad visions of, like, her past, and how her baby got taken away, and how her whole family was killed because of Klaus, like, it literally got to me, and I cried when she died, and then she made me forget about those tears in, like, 2.5 seconds, because she shook over Elena's body like a dumb asshole. I was angry that nobody could tell that it was Elena. I was angry, which I can't defend them, because it was really hard to tell. But there was so many, like, weird stuff that she said where it was like, okay, kinda like, why did nobody, like, automatically just think, like, oh, you know, she knew the spell for her daughter. Nobody thought to think that she would do it to Elena, but That's all. I mean, those are my top 5 favorite things or favorite stuff that I want to talk about. There's obviously like favorite seasons. Like I think anything after season 7. Season 7 was not that good. Season 8 was not. Season 8 was okay. I just feel like since the actress herself left the show after season 6, like the show just kind of went a little downhill. Like it was still good. It could have been a lot better. I think because obviously it didn't end the way that it was supposed to end because she left the show. So after season 6, like it was literally, I almost wanted to stop watching after season 6 because that just proves like Elena made the show, and the fact that they had to change everything because Elena, the actress Elena, left, and then they wanted to throw her in at the last episode, which was super cool that she came back for the last episode just so we could all get closure. But I'm gonna be 100% real right now. I honestly would have been okay if they would have just recast Elena. And I know that's super crazy. I feel like if I would have seen that happen, I would be like, oh, they did it, they recast her. Like, no, why'd they do that? I don't even want to fucking watch it. I feel like I would have felt like that for a little bit. But the show, without her in it, season 7 and season 8 without her in it, were honestly not that. Honestly, I wish they would have just recast her. That girl that was in season 8, that looked just like Elena, that doctor, that girl literally looked just like Elena. They should just cast that girl for season 7 and season 8, and they should have just replayed the show how it was supposed to end before the actress left after season 6. They should have recasted and just played it off like it was supposed to be, because I think it was supposed to be way better than it was. That's just my opinion. Season 6 was one of my favorite seasons. Season 6 was one of my favorite seasons because David and Elena were together, and it was just like so much was happening. I feel season 5 and season 6 were my top 2 favorite. Season 4 is really good too. I loved everything. Season 1's not that good. It's okay. It's definitely a slow season, and it kind of like slowly gets you into it, but then it like smacks you right in the face. Everything else just smacks you right there. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have watched the show, definitely comment below. Let's fucking talk about it. Follow me on my social media sites below. We can definitely talk about the show because I talk about it at work all the time with my friends because they're the ones who got me into the show. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If not, that's whatever. You can follow me all on my social media sites below. You can buy my book, Can't Control Life. I will leave a link in the description below as well. And I hope you have a good day. Deuces. This is literally how hard I am crying for the end of season 5 right now. Like Bonnie died, Damon died, they died holding hands. I can't stop crying. I can't stop crying.